You are listening to The Vocal Technologist. Spoken tech for your ears.
Okay, so let's unpack this. There's a real pull towards the startup world, isn't there? The bold ideas, the relentless chase, and, well, let's be honest, sometimes it feels like a real nail-biting drama. Welcome to Founder Fridays here in The Vocal Technologist. Today we're kind of looking at what it takes to launch, scale, and, navigate that whole high-stakes journey of being a founder. We've got some fascinating stuff from what's been happening recently.
Yeah, absolutely. What's really striking, I think, is just how fast the whole environment for these innovators is evolving. It demands not just courage anymore, but some really shrewd financial thinking and, well, adaptability.
That focus on the financial side is interesting, especially when you look at founders selling shares. It used to be almost taboo, right?
Right.
But now it seems more like a strategic thing. We're seeing secondary sales hitting, $162 billion this year? That's a 45% jump. What's really behind that shift?
Well, if you connect this to the bigger picture, the time it takes to go public, the IPO timeline, it's just stretched out so much. Companies are staying private for 10 years, maybe more now. So getting some liquidity early, turning some shares into actual cash, it isn't really a luxury anymore. It's becoming almost necessary for founders to have some basic financial stability just to stay committed for the long haul.
Ah, okay. So they can actually, pay their mortgage while building the next big thing.
Exactly. Look at Revolut's CEO reportedly selling a pretty significant stake. And it's not just the top brass. Big names like Stripe, Databricks, even OpenAI, they're running regular liquidity programs for employees too, letting staff sell some vested shares way before any big company exit. It's really about keeping founders and those crucial early team members motivated and, frankly, able to stay in the game. Needs moderation, of course.
That makes a lot of sense. So, okay, early liquidity is changing things.
Yeah.
But what about other big moves founders make? It's not always about a cash out, right? Sometimes it's more strategic, like integration or expanding influence. We're seeing that with OpenAI.
Precisely. OpenAI grabbing Statsig is a perfect example. Vijaye Raji, Statsig's founder, he's stepping in as OpenAI's CTO of Applications.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he's now overseeing engineering for ChatGPT and Codex. It's not just buying a company. It feels like a strategic talent acquisition, boosting their ability to experiment and develop products faster for their core stuff.
Right, bringing that expertise right into the fold. And speaking of high stakes, Anthropic just closed a huge Series F round, $13 billion, at a valuation of, get this, $183 billion. That kind of money, what's it for? Big enterprise demand, safety research going international.
Yeah.
It's massive.
That kind of valuation definitely points to enormous expectations. But, how do companies actually build that kind of value over, the long term? HubSpot's story is pretty interesting there. They went from basically zero to $25 billion in valuation over 17 years. Their strategy wasn't really about quick wins. It was predictable, compounding growth.
How do they manage that?
Initially, it was all about inbound marketing. Then they cleverly expanded to become this comprehensive system of record, the main place for all customer data. That really helps keep customers locked in. Plus, strategic acquisitions and just pouring money into R&D, that solidified their position. It was steady, planned growth.
Okay, so with all these different paths, the financial maneuvering, the strategic acquisitions, the long-term growth plays, what does this tell us about the mindset you need? It feels like this founder mindset isn't just for the person with the CEO title anymore.
That's a really sharp point. We are seeing modern CFOs, for instance, thinking much more like founders. They're not just counting beans, they're acting like real business operators. Their focus is shifting to turning capital into actual results, guiding those growth decisions, and honestly bringing some clarity to all the startup chaos. I've seen quite a few shift from being a kind of gatekeeper to more of a growth hacker role, using data to shape the story, not just report it.
That's a powerful evolution. And beyond the exec suite, for people actually, building the products or services, there seems to be this constant drumbeat about customer development, getting that product market fit right early on.
Absolutely. If you boil down the essential founder toolkit, it really comes down to that relentless, empathetic iteration, letting the market guide you, not just your initial brilliant idea. Ash Maurya nails this in Running Lean, just constantly validating your assumptions. And Sarasvathi's effectual entrepreneurship, it highlights embracing maybe discontinuous innovation, building relationships, and really listening to customers, iterating based on what they actually respond to, like real offers.
It's about adapting the vision based on reality, not just sticking to the original plan no matter what.
Exactly. Adaptability is key.
Wow. Okay, we've covered a lot today, from how founders manage their finances now to these huge strategic plays and valuations, and right down to the core mindset and the tools needed. Some really powerful lessons in there for anyone involved in innovation.
Definitely. And maybe this raises a question for you listening, whether you're deep in building something new or maybe just trying to improve what's already there. Which part of this founder's journey really resonates? Is it the calculated risk-taking, that bold vision, or the constant learning and adapting? Which of those will you lean into most as you chase your own goals?
That's a great thought to end on. Keep exploring, keep building, and we'll catch you next time.
Spoken Tech for your ears.